The world's best MMA fighter, his name is Troy Chi. He had just landed the finishing blow to his opponent, and now judges is going to announce the winner of the fight. Troy was declared the new fighting champion. He is a professional fighter that specializes in MMA. He was quickly becoming a sensation online and in the news. Outside, he is even broadcasted on a very large screen TV. As he looked up at the large screen outside, he spotted a girl standing on the edge of a building, about to jump. Without hesitation, he grabbed a nearby civilian's phone and dialed 911 to report the situation. As he was about to explain the situation to the operator, the fence broke and she began to fall. Troy knew he had to act fast. He sprinted towards her, jumping off the ground in a desperate attempt to catch her. As he reached out for her, they both landed on top of a parked car. The impact was severe, and Troy knew he was dying. But he had saved the girl. People nearby heard the loud bang and rushed to see what had happened. Troy's last thoughts were of the girl he had saved before he blacked out. When Troy came to, he was lying in a hospital bed. All he remembered was that he didn't feel anything, but he thought he was dying. As he opened his eyes, he realized he was alive and relieved. He gets up from the hospital bed, and stands in front of the mirror. He looked in the mirror and was shocked to see a woman's reflection staring back at him. He reached up to touch her face and whispered, "Cute," under his breath. Surprised by his own voice. He looked down and saw breasts. He checked his package down below and was horrified to find it was gone. A businessman walked into the room, calling out for Tori. Troy realized that he was in the girl's body that he had saved. He couldn't believe it. He looked back in the mirror, still unable to fully grasp the situation. He stands in disbelief, as he, Troy Chi, the strongest man in the world, has now woken up in a girl's body, whose name is Tori. He checks multiple times, his little buddy has left him. Fast forward, he is attending this girl's high school, called the Rumble High School. As she walks by, some girls gossip around her. This girl Tori tried to unalive herself. Many people look at her and talks about her rumors. As she walks by the corridor, she was surprised to see a man fly across his face and hit the wall. She asked if the man was okay, and the man called him by her name. Troy didn't recognize him and asked if they knew each other. The man was a big fan of Troy Chi and apparently had founded the MMA club. Dreaming of becoming the #1 fighter in Rumble High. The school was known for its many martial arts clubs, and the students who picked on Troy were jealous of the fact that their style of fighting had lost to his MMA style. Troy was touched to witness such an avid fan of him. However, the big guy from the judo department was angered by his words and grabbed him by the neck, choking him. He said, "To us, you're just worthless garbage. And that your #1 garbage." Troy Chi easily died by being sat on by a girl's ass. As the big guy continued to talk, he was interrupted by a swift kick to the face from Troy. Annoyed by the man's derogatory comment, Troy was determined to prove herself as more than just a girl who had accidentally killed the world's best fighter. Sunny was surprised by the sudden attack and watched in disbelief as Troy sent the 300-pound man flying with her kick. She quickly asked the man if he was okay, but was alert to his attempts to retaliate. She jumped high, dodging his attack with quick reflexes. As she landed on the ground, she felt the limitations of her new body and knew she had to finish the fight quickly. The big guy turned to face her, but she was already rushing towards him. He reached out to grab her, but she was too quick. She wrapped her legs around his arm and locked him into a cross armbar position, but it wasn't enough to stop him. He lifted her easily and was about to slam her onto the ground, but she launched herself into the air and locked him into a rear chokehold. She put all her effort into choking him and he soon passed out, falling to the ground. Sunny watched in amazement as Troy, now in the body of Tori, took down the big bald guy. Troy, thinking about the incident, knew that it was a far cry from the strength and power he had in his original body. He realized that as a girl, he was weaker, but he was determined to train and prove himself as a powerful fighter, no matter what body he was in. Sunny was suspicious of Tori's sudden display of strength and skill, and he continued to watch her closely. Meanwhile, the big guy from earlier, Ox, was woken up by his club members, still furious about his defeat. He swore to get revenge on the little girl who had taken him down. His club members were confused by his words, and they came to the conclusion that their vice president of the judo club had lost to a chokehold from a girl, which only further angered Ox. He grabbed his members by their shirts and threw them, claiming that the vice captain of the judo club would never lose to a girl. Ashamed and humiliated, Ox warned them not to spread the news or else he would kill them. He grinned as he plotted his revenge. Fast forward to Tori. She was yawning in front of her classmates and was criticized by the other girls for not acting like her usual elegant self. When confronted about her lack of memories, Tori explained that she had lost them. The girls reintroduced themselves to her. The first girl was Julia, a member of the Kyokushin Karate Club, with a short haircut and glasses. Next was Winnie, a tomboyish girl with red hair from the boxing club. Tori was surprised to learn that fighting clubs were a big focus at Rumble High, with about 1/3 of the school's population belonging to a fighting club or sports club. The third girl, who remained unnamed, introduced herself as the angel who consumes violence, and the beauty representative of the sisterhood. Her name was Alice, and she was stylishly dressed in a fighter's attire. Tori finally met all three girls and was fascinated by the focus on fighting at Rumble High. Then suddenly, Sunny appeared. Tori asked him what he wanted and he said he wanted her to come with him, grabbed her by the hand and led her outside. He confronted her, asking how she was able to defeat Ox and why she was acting differently. He was about to ask why her techniques were similar to Troy Cheese, but before he could finish he was punched in the face by Tori. He was launched by the punch and Tori scolded him for grabbing her too hard and hurting her. As Tori examined her bruised wrist, Sunny realized that the punch was in Troy Cheese style. He punched back, but she easily dodged it. Sunny was convinced that she was Troy Chee's girlfriend. Sunny tried to deliver a swift back kick, but Tori dodged it with ease. She explained that Troy Chi had saved her life and she had researched and learned his moves herself. Troy was nervous, thinking that he had been exposed. Sunny continued to press Tori for answers, but she was able to evade his attacks. Troy wanted to test her defense and blocked with her arms. Sunny landed a blow on her arm, but quickly realized that her body was very delicate and it hurt her badly. Sunny asked if she was okay, and she looked at him with teary eyes and a cute, vulnerable expression. Sunny was stunned by her charm but was quickly interrupted by a kick to his face from a man in a neat high school uniform and a clean haircut. The man scolded Sunny for bullying a girl and called him a scum and said he would never forgive him. Tori was shocked, as the man had misunderstood the situation and thought Sunny was bullying her. The man introduced himself as Jun Kim, the captain of the Taekwondo club. As Jun Kim introduced himself, he moved closer to Tori and grabbed her by the waist, trying to charm her and apologize for not arriving sooner. He leaned in for a kiss, but Troy punched him in the face and Sunny tried to elbow him from behind. Jun Kim finally recognized Sunny, and the two of them began fighting, exchanging insults and attacks. Sunny tried to punch him, but Jun Kim easily dodged his attacks. No matter what Sunny did, Jun Kim was able to evade his attacks with ease. The class bell rang and Jun Kim ended the fight by delivering a fast kick to Sunny's head. He looked at the defeated Sunny and said, "Goodbye," telling Tori to find him again at the Taekwondo club. As he walked away, he mumbled under his breath that he thought Tori was impressed by his handsomeness and kissed a heart. Goodbye. Tori is back in class, listening to Julia explain the different fighting clubs at their school. There are 9 major clubs, including Sambo, Judo, boxing, Kyokushin karate, Sanda, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, Kendo, and Kyoryu. Julia mentions that the captain of the Taekwondo club, Jun Kim, is not only skilled in Taekwondo but also very handsome and from a wealthy family. Alice, another girl in the class, dislikes him because he wears makeup and isn't manly enough. Which is funnily enough, because Alice isn't very woman-like herself. Torai is curious about the rankings and traditions of the fighting clubs. Julia explains that there is an underground tradition called student battles where the captains of each club fight to determine who is the strongest at their school. The winner earns the title of number one at Rumble High and qualifies for the annual National Youth Fighting Championship tournament. It's said that whoever is the strongest at Rumble High is the strongest in the world. Troy, who is currently in Tori's body, finds the idea of becoming the strongest at the school and then in the world exciting.